Broadcasting from the beautiful Great Lakes state of Michigan, I'm Tom Bartholomew, your host of the Michigan Contractor Show. And I worked in the construction industry for over 25 years. I started on a job site when I was 14, working for my dad on a vinyl siding job. Now I spend all my time running a digital marketing agency where I help contractors and companies in the skilled trade promote their business and reach customers in ways they never thought possible. Again, my name is Tom, and let's get to today's guest. All right, today I have with me Tim Dayeny. He finds the best ways to protect your health, life, medical, financial, and your eternal legacy. He is a small business advisor with the biggest savings on benefits for employees. Like I said, I want to introduce Tim Dayeny. Thanks for being on the show today, Tim.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks, Tom. That's awesome. That's a great intro. I really appreciate being on the Contractor Show here with you. And I was a contractor for about 23 and a half, 24 years. And started out as a small contractor, built my way up to being pretty good size. You know, I was doing fairly well, but didn't have a lot of family members that wanted to jump on board with me to build this huge empire like a lot of brothers or families do. It was just me, myself, and I had subcontractors that are really difficult to deal with sometimes. So I was getting older, getting up towards 50, and really frustrated through the 2008. What happened there, I kind of got screwed on a job really bad. Ended up I didn't have any insurance, and I was really kind of down and out at one point, and I was like, wow, what do I do? And I didn't even know what insurance meant or was. I had no clue about premiums or deductibles or anything. And I was kind of down and out, walking through like a Sam's Club or something like that, and one of my friends, I saw him and he was like doing all great and happy, and he was just getting started in the insurance industry, and said, hey, you want to come on board and I can show you how to make $500 a pop, selling insurance, we wanted to sell mortgage insurance to people who were buying houses. We would sell like a life insurance policy to somebody so they could pay off their mortgage if they died. And so I was like, yeah, sure. I'll give it a try. I was willing to try anything. Little did I know you'd have to be knocking on doors and calling people and saying, hey, do you want to buy life insurance? And it was not easy to get started. So it took me a good 3 years to really kind of transition out of doing contracting and learn how to really help people. So it's been it was a long learning process and going through all the training and certifications. And I really found that the major pain point that I had and contractors have is their health insurance. I was walking around with no health insurance for years, really. I didn't want to pay anything for it, so I just didn't have it. I was like, I just won't get hurt. If I do, I'll just wrap it up. I'll be fine. And that's the way most of the guys are that I knew, and probably a lot of the contractors that are listening to this show. And now the sad part is most people's debt and the way that 90% of people go into bankruptcy is because of medical bills, believe it or not. Medical bills is one of the biggest reasons for debt, which is one of the biggest reasons for marriages to break up, which is, drug abuse, all kinds of debt is one of the biggest reasons for a lot of people to do a lot of bad things. And it all comes from maybe having an accident. Now you got to pay. Now it's some of the collectors after you. So I learned that, man, if you just have a small accident policy and just enough to pay something, even if you do slice your finger or you got to go to an emergency room, it's not that expensive to have some decent coverage. So I learned all the different ways to get coverage. I learned about how it works. I learned about deductibles and co-pays and everything, and truly wanted to help people. So that kind of took me through a long process of being with different companies. And I came to the point where now I'm an independent, but hooked up with a lot of large companies like Cornerstone, as well as Healthcare Solutions Team, which connects me with Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Aetna, Humana, all the top rated companies, as well as US Health Group. And I can compare everything side by side. And so not two people are the same, and no two people need the same coverage is the way that it really works. You have to look at the situation, look at the needs, and look at the budget to see where you can really get some good coverage for your situation. So that's kind of what I do, Tom. Um, Hopefully you've got some questions that you
Oh,
can ask me.
absolutely, Tim. Absolutely. No, I think you're right because when I was a contractor doing construction, I was the same way. I didn't have any insurance, and I wrapped my finger and my hand and my leg, and I taped and I bandaged things up, and I never went to the hospital or doctor. And there's a few times I had one time on my hand a piece of metal, cut it, and I had fat sticking out. So I cleaned it, pushed the fat back in, and used a butterfly suture and some
Yeah.
gauze. I probably should have went
Hmm.
to the hospital, but I didn't have any
Yeah.
insurance at the time. So luckily it
Yep.
healed up and I didn't
Me
lose my
too.
hand, but it could have been worse. You're absolutely right. And I've known people that were friends that actually, went into debt because they were builders and didn't have
Yes.
didn't have a insurance policy to
Yep.
protect them. Okay.
Yep.
So okay, let's say a contractor doesn't have insurance, because I think you're right. I think a lot of them don't. And is your insurance for just them and their family, or can they cover their employees with it too? And how does that work?
Right. So there is main big directions that you can go with health insurance. There's what's called the ACA. It's the Affordable Care Act, which is ran through the government. It oversees it. It's the CMS, which is the Center for Medical Services, that oversees those plans. And then for small groups, that's two people or more, that's considered a SHOP, SHOP, small health option plans, or something that actually stands for. But SHOP, that's 0 to 50 people, and then over 50 it gets to be the larger group plans. And those are all overseen through the CMS. So that's one major direction if you're going to go towards the government system side. And the other side is private health insurance. Private health insurance, you can do it for groups, individuals, families, and you can customize it however you want. The private health insurance doesn't subscribe to the system of things, so it doesn't have the same regulations and things like that. It can work perfectly fine and works good for most people, but not everybody. So if somebody has a lot of really bad health needs, let's say they're taking injectables, or they're in a wheelchair, or they're, going to the doctor every month to get some type of spinal thing that the doctor needs to do, right? Know people that have to get an injection in their eye so they can continue to see, things like that. Really bad medical problems that they're seeing a doctor on a regular basis, or taking really expensive prescriptions on a regular basis. That's when they would need to be in the system of things, what's called the ACA. Or if they're part of a group, you really want those people who are medically needy, you want to be in the SHOP, or government overseen plans. The reason is, let me tell you this, a lot of people don't know this. The ACA might be called Biden Care now, who knows what they're going to come up with, and Medicare, and the SHOP plans, or the system of things, the ACA, those plans are what's called unlimited, no cap on what they are going to pay. And they also have no restrictions on pre-existing conditions. So if you have a bad medical need, they can't uprate you or deny you. Okay. Now in private plans, they can, if they want to, they can deny you, they can uprate you, they can say no. But at the same time, too, if you're healthy and you don't have any medical needs, those private plans can be this much money compared to, on the government side, this much money. So the private plans, if you're healthy, you're okay with, I'm going to wrap my finger for most of these little things. I'm not going to run to the doctor every month for a blood test. I'm not using the system a lot. I want to be away from the system. What I really need is a private plan that's going to just cover me for something, something bad, like heart attack or stroke, God forbid, something bad, so I don't go bankrupt, so I don't go in the hole. So that's the big difference. You've got the system, what I call, well, maybe I shouldn't, that's maybe a taboo to say that. I don't know who's watching this, but there's the government way, and then there's the private insurance way. That's all still legit. It's still insurance. It still will pay. These companies have been around since before Obamacare. Private insurance has been around forever and will be around forever. Even if they give us Medicare for all, we'll all still have to get something. Medicare doesn't cover everything.
Yeah, that's what a great explanation. Yeah, I never knew that, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners don't understand the difference between the two, the private and the government, the way it works. And so basically, if I have a lot of problems, I should probably try to get over to the government insurance, the ACA, or now maybe Biden care, like you said.
Who knows
That
the way how things are going to change, right?
I
That's
heard him say that at one time. So
mhm.
I'm leading up to the election. So I'm sure that
Oh yeah,
he's going in that direction. And then if I am healthy and my maybe employees are healthy or something, if they want to get something, they might be able to go and get a better deal over to, because most builders, as you know, carpenters, they're a tough bunch. They're a tough
yeah,
breed,
yeah. They're
right? So
usually
they
pretty
are going to
healthy.
wrap. They don't want to miss out on
Yeah,
an hour of work to run up to the hospital to do the same
right.
thing. Even if they break a
Yeah.
finger, I've seen guys just wrap it to another one and just keep right on a frame. And so,
Yeah, or if they get a cold, they're going to take some over the counter. They're not going to run to the doctor. That's, young guys, and that's the way I was too. I was like, I don't want to go to the doctor. I'd prefer not to go into the hospital, especially with COVID and everything. I don't want to go there. And so, the private side is great for those kind of guys. Contractors, they really don't need to be in the super expensive ACA shop plans unless they're part of a big group where the employer is willing to pay half. Um, there's so many options right now that it is mind-boggling for most people. The two that I just explained are really only two. There's several others too. Like you got the Medishare, which is medical cost sharing, which is not even insurance, and then you have actual self-pay groups where it's actually self-funded, and those right now are getting big. Self-funded groups. Hmm.
I know that when I was young, before I became a carpenter, I sold some door to door insurance that paid you up to a certain amount.
Hmm.
And so that was a completely different kind. So I'm sure there's lots of kinds of insurance. And like you said, it's mind boggling. And that's why somebody would come to a person like you, Tim. And
Right.
I know they can visit you at DayneyAgency.com.
That's right.
And right on there, I noticed you had a thing. You had a few stuff where it talked about making it easy. How do you make it
Yes.
easy for people?
Well, really, the companies have made it really easy for me these days. I came in at a really good time where the technology was just taking off with all these things. I've heard stories way back in the day where everything was paper and it was a little bit harder. Nowadays, you can click a link online. There's links right on my website that you can go to. There is several different options, but it's best to talk to me first so I can ask specific questions and know which way to go. Like, are you taking any medication on a regular basis? Do you have any surgeries or things that man, I'm going to have to get this shoulder eventually? This shoulder, I know like in the next year or two, I might have to get this thing, replaced or worked on, or I know I got this lump back here that really, it's been brewing for about a year. I'm going to have to get that. So I need to know these things, especially dental. Even though dental is one of the smaller expenses, it's one of the biggest concerns for people. And dental, you can either waste a lot of money on the wrong kind of dental insurance, or you can do it the right way and have something that rolls with you over year after year after year. You can keep forever. And you use it when you need to. So dental is a big thing to have a small discussion with people. Like, how do they have a cavity right now that needs to get fixed, or can they wait for a little while? So those conversations are kind of needed. It takes about 15 minutes, and then I can send them links to go ahead and quote stuff for themselves, or even give them quotes and help walk through it with them.
Oh wow! So if I come onto your site, I think there was even an option to chat with you. I could
Hmm.
schedule a call, kind of maybe even similar to this, and then you would give me links where I could even see my own quotes for insurance.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of times the companies give you the ability to change deductibles or change time frames so that you can play with the numbers yourself. Say, oh, if I, raise these numbers over here, maybe the price will come down over, so once get you going in the right direction and say, okay, this type of plan is going to work good for you, we can start playing with, that type of plan and see how much you can, give and take for deductibles, copays, waiting periods, things like that. wellness and healthy visits, all those things of what people want and need and how they want their insurance to work.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. I'm sure
Mhm.
that the easier it is, because if I find something confusing, I probably just quit trying if it's too confusing, right? If it's
That
something I don't understand about, I might look and I might research and I might never settle on anything. So that's where you can help out, make it easy for people, make it easy for contractors to get it for their family or for their employees. Now
That's
I
funny,
know.
Tom. It's funny you were just saying that because that's what I just did with these CRMs that you're hoping to help me with is figure out some of these things. I was looking at all these different CRMs that just got so confusing. I just wanted to give up because it's just too much. It's just too much information, and I feel that way too about certain things I don't know much about. So when people come to me about insurance, I like to make it easy, ask the simple questions, and know which direction to go.
Oh, that's great. And that's helpful because I know, like I was just saying, a lot of people, they just kind of say, well, you know what? I'm just going to keep wrapping my finger. I don't understand all of this. So I know that when we had talked before, Tim, you had told me about, and it was something that I never knew with insurance, on how you can protect your money, like
Right.
for later in life and stuff like that. So how does insurance protect my money? Tell me about that.
Right. So the tax laws are such that anything tied to your life, if you're a beneficiary, there's no taxes that you have to pay on that. So if you can tie it to your life, and it actually works after 65 as well, that you can shelter your money and then pull it out sheltered later. And there's also vehicles now that are short-term tax sheltered where you can start to put money, small amounts, even like 40 bucks a month, into an account that allows it to grow tax sheltered and can actually double your money. And this is it's a 35-month contract. So it's, right at 3 years, just under 3 years, 35 months, doubles your money guaranteed. So these products can be tax sheltered and used for anything medically related, and also hide your, well, I shouldn't say hide your money. Let's not actually legit, but shelter your money so that it's growing. You don't have to pay taxes on it later.
Wow. So you're saying just by having the right type of insurance can protect me and protect my money?
Exactly. That's right. And help your money to grow. Many times, if you can get your money to grow faster than inflation, then you're coming out ahead. If you're not growing your money faster than inflation and you just have it sitting in savings, you're actually going backwards because inflation, the dollars, things are getting more and more expensive. So you have to find ways to do that. And I help people find simple, easy, cost effective, and not like hundreds of dollars a month into something, but you can start as low as 10, 15, 40 bucks a month into something that's tax sheltered, that's designed to work the way that you want it to. Everybody wants their money to do something different later on down the road. Some people don't want to have life insurance. Some people want to have something that just covers like critical if they're critical and they have to go into a home. So I help design something that works for them and look for ways to shelter it from taxes at the same time.
Wow. I heard a thing one time about saving cash and why you shouldn't do it, because at the rate of inflation, if you save cash, it literally is worth less.
Less.
So any
That's
contractor that's
right.
hiding a stack of money underneath their mattress or in their mattress, they really shouldn't be doing that,
Right.
because their money is
Right.
losing
So
value.
it is. So I learned, I do the Dave Ramsey financial peace training, and I learned what it means to have a zero balance budget each month so that you don't keep any money. You actually either put it into debt or you put it into an investment or you pay all your everything first, as much as you possibly can, so you get rid of every bit of debt. And then if there's anything left over at all, you either give some away or you put it into an investment that's making more than just sitting in cash. You get rid of all your money every month, zero balance budget. So you have nothing to spend at the end of the month. Now it's different for everybody because you're self-employed. You got, you know, but you don't keep money around. I don't keep money around. I put it into an investment. And I've been learning different ways to invest recently, cryptocurrency, blockchain stuff, Forex stuff. I'm learning how these things work. and trying to help people understand some of it too, because it's a big world. The whole financial and insurance thing is a huge world to understand. So I try to make it easy for people.
Yeah, that's great. The
Mm-hmm.
easier, the better, as we know, and we've talked that if something is complicated, people tend to shy away from it and go towards the easy stuff. I know I
Right.
do a lot of times. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And some of this stuff is confusing.
Insurance to me is confusing, and just what we've talked about here today makes a lot of sense and has really kind of helped me understand it better. Hopefully our audience gets to understand it better. Tim,
Well,
what else? Oh, go.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, I was just going to say, what else would you like to tell us about I know you're down in Ann Arbor, but you can serve anybody throughout Michigan and even other states, correct?
Yes. Yes. I'm actually licensed in 23 states and can help people virtually pretty much anywhere in the country. But, I came from a contractor background, so I really understand the contractor mindset and where they want to go. A lot of these guys are looking to shave the bottom line. Their budget is important to them, but I also want to make sure that they're protected the right way. I'm not out to just make a buck on people. I'm there because I truly care about people. I care about people having the right coverage and not going into debt. I do this because I'm getting paid for it, yes, but I'm not doing it just for the money. The big kick and the biggest payday for me is when somebody just goes, "Oh my gosh, you say it helped me so much. It was how so incredible talking to you." That's when somebody says that to me, and I've had people say that to me, and it's been better than getting a big paycheck. When somebody says that and they're like practically in tears telling me how much I helped them, that's a better paycheck to me than anything else. So that's what I get a kick out of, is really helping people. That's why I do it. And so yeah, I'm able to help people in anywhere in Michigan, virtually online. We can do it. You don't have to show your face. If you call me, we can just do it over the phone. And I'm easy, real easy to do a screen share. I can just share my screen, show stuff side by side, compare things, and kind of narrow it down. So I can sort of bring it down to one sort of thing and then work on that for people. So yeah, thanks for having me, Tom.
Hey, yeah. Where I know I did kind of tell them a little bit earlier, but where can people, a contractor or anybody that's listening, find you?
Yep, Dayney Agency. That's my last name, the word agency.com. Or you can also go to 734-646-6885. See if I can There it is.
So they can just give you a call.
734-646-6885. Call, text, or email. If you go on my website, there's a calendar thing that I just put up there. Hopefully it's working good. So yeah, thanks, Tom.
All right. Well, thank you, Tim Dayeny from Dayney Agency Insurance. So make sure you reach out to him for any insurance needs that you have to cover you, your family, and your employees if you're a contractor. So he's got a lot of great stuff to help you out with and protect your money, and he'll make it easy. What better protect you, your money, and make it easy. So thanks again, Tim, and we'll see everybody next time. You can check out Tim at DayneyAgency.com, and you can call him at 734-646-6885. If you like this episode, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends. We'll see you next time.